10 men that Christian women should not marry.
There you go.
I'm with it. All right. So anyway, we talked about that last week, and frankly, the list ended up being nobody should marry these fellas. They're all around not worth marrying.
Number 11 being me.
So there's a list of the 8 women that Christian men should never marry. These are the women that I tell my spiritual sons to avoid. Here we go. Number 1, the unbeliever. In last week's column, reminded women that the Bible is absolutely clear on this point. Christians should not marry unbelievers. Okay, so that's the only Christian-specific one that was in the men's one as well.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that one
Because
too.
I would tell a believer not to marry a non-believer.
Yeah.
So therefore, why would you tell the non-believer to marry a believer?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's just, yeah. And here's what people's reaction to that is weird. They're like, what a weird strict rule. You're just trying to, stay insular and stuff. And like, if some guy says the order in my life is God first and then spouse, and you're marrying someone that says there is no God, spouse first, I feel like you have a problem. Like on its
different worldviews.
Yeah, on its base root, it's not because I'm Jesus and I'm better than you. It's because like I put something above you, and if we don't agree with that, we really shouldn't be getting married.
Yeah, and I mean, some folks take it a little staunchy, like that can be redeemed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't plan it that way. You know what I'm saying? But it can be redeemed if you're in a marriage, that started that way. Mine was. And so I'm not saying that it can't be redeemed and Christ can't cover all, but like, if you have the opportunity to say plan for the tower, you should plan for it instead of getting halfway through and go, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to build a tower.
Yeah.
They're all going to laugh at you because you couldn't finish it.
I always like that story because, like, it's such a rudimentary, like, school, like grade school thing. Ha ha, there's the guy that couldn't build the tower.
See the base of his tower? Yeah, you see how there wasn't any more?
He could have planned for it, but didn't. It's just
Snidely whiplash, dude.
But
You
it's just
didn't finish your tower?
Yeah, you notice that Jesus doesn't leave any wiggle room. He's like, this is how they will react. Like, they might make fun of you. No, sir. They're gonna make fun of you.
They will laugh at you hysterically.
they're such like flat people, but like that goes on. You go by a guy's house, like that guy's been working on his house for a year and a half, and he still doesn't have it done.
But I mean, doesn't that show the fatherly figure of Christ? Like, I mean, I try to teach my kids a lot of stuff, and I like to give them a lot of freedom in how they dress and what that, like that kind of crap. I'm not real strict about that, but every once in a while I have to pull them aside and say, listen, I don't care that you do this, but if you continue to be this way, they're going to make fun of you. Just so you know, I love you. You can do whatever you want. I feel like you're going to regret it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus is basically saying the exact same thing. Like, this doesn't call your salvation into question. I'm not kicking you out of the house, but people are going to laugh at you. You need to tone it down.
All right, so we're agreeing on the unbeliever. Second, a woman that a Christian man should not marry. Woman type, the material girl. Madonna say, what? One young friend of mine was engaged to a girl from a rich family. He saved up money for months to buy a ring, but when he proposed, she told him he needed to go back to the jewelry store to buy a bigger diamond. She pushed her fiancé to go into debt for a ring that fit her expectations. She wanted a Tiffany's lifestyle and his Walmart budget. I warned my friend that he was stepping into serious trouble. Unless you want to live in debt for the rest of your life, do not marry a girl who has dollar signs in her eyes and 8 credit cards in her Gucci purse.
I mean, you're going to find hints of this in all ladies. I mean, come on. I'm not saying that, like, I mean, this woman's a cartoon. I mean, there's ladies like her, but I mean, not where I live. But I mean, I'm afraid that this list is going to knock every woman off the list, and you won't be able to marry no one.
That's not a spiritual thing, though. I mean, if I happen to be Donald Trump, and I can afford whatever ring I want, if I'm a believer and she's a believer, the fact that she wants expensive things is not a Christian issue, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I shouldn't say Donald Trump, but if I have unlimited resources,
Right, you're unfairly characterizing the money aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you hate Topaz and he showed up with an $8,000 Topaz ring. You'd be just as likely to say, hey, listen, can we turn that in for something that's not Topaz?
I plan to wear this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Please don't embarrass me.
I feel, yeah, but like if you showed up with like, hey, this is what I got, and she's like, no, take it back and get something much bigger and go into debt to get
He's
it.
totally telling it.
There are red flags there,
He's totally telling it one-sidedly. She can be like, I love you. Of course I will. We need to talk about that ring you picked out. That's the way my wife would do it. That is ugly, Mike. I love you and we'll marry you, but that's terrible.
It's not a question of ugly. It's how big.
Yeah.
Hey, that doesn't draw enough attention to me.
She probably has a ring from her mom on her 16th birthday. It's twice the size. She doesn't want her mom's ring overshadowing his wedding ring. I feel like that's fair.
I don't know. No.
I mean, there's some
feel like you're drawing a lot of
incompatibility issues
conclusions.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, he does bring that out.
I'm just saying, rich folks give away big rings to their daughters.
But she's marrying a non-rich man. If she can't get on board with that, now's the time to say something.
Yeah, yeah.
true.
Hey, this ain't gonna work out.
I'm
dude.
not saying there not conversations need to be had, but I mean, throwing down your Wranglers and saying, that's it, I'm out. I mean, I feel like that's too much.
I can see by this ring, we're going to run into some high/low expectations for the rest of our marriage. So I'm going to say, no, we need to go back.
But we was going to go to the drive-thru after this.
Number 3 of the 8 women Christian men should never marry. Number 3 is the diva. Some macho guys like to throw their weight around and pretend they are superior to women. Divas are the female version of this nightmare. They think the world revolves around them, and they don't think twice about hurting somebody else to prove their point. Their words are harsh, and their finger-snapping demands are unreasonable. What if you are reasonable? What if you're like, clean the bathroom?
Because it's dirty.
I mean,
And
because
you're the reason.
you mussed it up.
you know,
What more do you want?
Do the dishes because I haven't been home in a week and you have.
Yeah, I mean, is it an attitude or a lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Are they right or are they right? You know the
that's
whites
I
don't
guess
go in
that's,
with the...
that's snap.
That's the distinction.
The snap got some bad rap because it gets followed by unreasonable demands. But like, I feel like she's being reasonable about it.
Yeah. Turn on the porch light. I'm going to bed. That's reasonable.
Turn off the TV when you come in.
Have a towel rack for a reason. All right. So wait, I
Hey, I can't even stand the person they're describing, even when I'm not married to them.
I feel like
I'd
we're
stay
running.
away.
I feel like we're running the same situation we ran into last week, where these kind of seem like some people that no one wants to marry.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about having a little grace for folks, though. I mean, if they, I mean,
this
here's
is the
deal.
curse woman, is it not? The woman that wants to hold it over the man.
Yeah,
She's just a result of a natural implication of life.
yeah. All women are
You're
fighting.
a fallen man. Get
Yeah,
a
they're-
hold of yourself.
They're fighting this diva thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's gonna lapse. Mhm.
it's just the curse.
Yeah. I'm
Number
sorry,
4.
you can't lead me correctly.
You remember Adam?
Get your thorns and thistles out of here. Mistake. Definite mistake. 4, the Delilah. Remember Samson? I once the first time we did secular versus Solomon. No, that wasn't it. We were talking about the show, and I spelled the word Samson with a P. It's Samson, but no P.
Right.
But I can't say without the P. Samson. Samson.
Samson.
Samson.
Sam. I can do it.
You all in the car. You go ahead and do it. It's all right. Samson.
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 You better stop it before you get home.
You don't talk like that in here.
Yeah, that's why you have friends. Get that weirdness out of here.
He was okay. Samson was anointed by God with superhuman strength, but he lost his power when a seductive woman figured out his secret and gave her man the world's most famous haircut. Like Delilah, a woman who hasn't yielded her sexuality to God will blind you with her charms, break your heart, and snip your anointing off. Ooh, that sounds rosy.
Okay.
Sounds
Hold on a
awful.
minute.
That's not the way to put it.
That Samson was an idiot.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he really
Samson
was.
was a straight up dummy.
She's telling this story. All right, now, granted, I mean, listen, this woman had no amount of cunning or shrewdness.
It was just Samson.
Samson, how do I defeat you? Here's a lie. Oh, man. You fooled me once, how dare you? How do I defeat you? Here's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is not the prime in the story. The man's a moron. I mean, granted, you got to be watch out for ladies like
I mean,
that.
she was willing to be deceitful. But I don't know.
At the
I don't
same
know.
time-
Her womanly wiles, I'm not sure, contribute all that much to it. He's just kind of a doofus.
Sam, I mean, what's the point of the article? That someone who is being sensual to attract you?
Yeah. If your Christian woman you met at church dresses provocatively, flirts with other guys, posts sexually inappropriate comments on Facebook, or tells you she's okay with sex before marriage, get out.
I agree.
Hey,
I guess
Run.
I'll agree with
what
that.
sixth grader wrote this article? These are not nuances to help defining a mate. You know what I'm saying? They're like putting the poison man with the 2 arms on every bottle at your place.
I mean, there's a difference between saying, hey, she dresses for everybody, not just for you, as opposed to she posts sexually inappropriate comments on Facebook and flirts with other men.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
that's.
I mean, you can work with one and kind of rearrange how women are thinking about that stuff. But like, I feel like the other ones are dead slaps to your face.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I found very attractive about my wife before we were dating was she was a modest dresser.
Modest is honest.
Modest is hottest.
Yeah, I mean, it attracted me. She didn't need to try to attract attention to
Yeah.
herself. Yeah.
That changed about me when I got
What do you
married.
look at me?
What? Nothing?
I don't dress provocatively at church anymore because of this.
I was gonna say, like, that changed about me when I got married. Once I found out my wife didn't approve I changed my ways. I'm not a piece of meat for sale on the market.
All right. Neither am I.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what time it is. Hold on. We got time to go through the contentious woman. A young man told me recently that he dated a girl who had serious resentment in her heart because of past hurts. Before I would propose, I told my fiancée she had to deal with this, he explained. It would have been a deal breaker. But there was a powerful breakthrough, and now we are engaged. This guy realized that unresolved bitterness can ruin a marriage. If the woman you are dating is seething with anger and unforgiveness, your life together will be ruined by arguing, door slamming, and endless drama. Insist that she get prayer and counseling.
hey, you know how you're human? Yeah, fix that. Yeah. And then we can get married.
I don't want to help you with it. You fix it before you come back in here.
All that baggage, I'm going to need you to check that at the door.
That goes back
And
to
we can become...
really whether you're a believer or not. Yeah, you want to stay away from someone who's just so angry they can't breathe.
I don't even know. I feel like I really want to know the guy that wrote the article. It's like saying, look, if you try to date a man and he kills people and insists that he's going to continue to kill people, ask him to get prayer and do not marry him. Okay. You know, that's pretty obvious.
Like, is there anybody in the free world that says, hey, I got this person I want to marry, and she's seething with anger?
right. She seems to take it out on me.
Describe your new fiance.
I love her.
She's got some serious anger.
Anyway,
she's contentious.
we're getting together.
That's right.